At its physical peak, a male saltwater crocodile is a 2,000-pound wall of muscle. It holds the title for the strongest bite on the planet, capable of slamming its jaws shut with 3,700 pounds of force. But this power is the result of a long, improbable journey. Decades before it becomes a river giant, the crocodile begins as a 6-inch hatchling, hidden in the muddy swamps of northern Australia. The math of the swamp is unforgiving. For every 50 eggs laid in a nest, the statistics suggest that 40 of those hatchlings will be dead within their first few weeks in the water. To reach the top of the food chain, an individual must survive 20 years of constant predation in an environment where nearly everything is trying to eat it. For a newborn, the swamp is a lethal environment. Monitor lizards stalk the banks, large fish strike from the depths, and birds of prey watch for any movement in the shallows. While a mother crocodile will attempt to drive off intruders, the sheer volume of the brood makes total protection impossible. As she carries one group to the water, predators often pick off the siblings left behind. Survival during these first days depends on concealment. The hatchling's grayish-green hide allows it to vanish into the murky water and reeds, invisible to anything scanning the surface. If spotted, the hatchling relies on its lung capacity. It can sink to the bottom and remain submerged for 2 hours, waiting until the predator above eventually loses interest and moves on. By 6 months, survivors develop an advanced sensory tool. This schematic shows thousands of specialized pits lining the snout. They detect minute water pressure changes, acting as a surveillance system that lets the juvenile feel swimming prey from 65 feet away. These tools help the juvenile grow, but that growth eventually creates a new, more visible problem. At 2 years old, the crocodile reaches 6.5 feet in length. It is now too large to hide under small branches, making it an easy target for any larger predator in the area. This vulnerability peaks during the dry season. As the swamp evaporates, the remaining water shrinks into shallow, crowded pools. These pools are claimed by massive, cannibalistic adults. For a visible juvenile, staying in the drying swamp often results in being killed by one of its own kind. To survive this bottleneck, the young crocodile must leave its home and navigate the open ocean in search of a territory with fewer competitors. This cross-section highlights the lingual salt glands making ocean travel possible. A specialized system for managing high salinity, these glands actively pump salt out of the bloodstream and expel it through the mouth. This allows them to cross oceans without dehydration. This ability to cross oceans turns a life-threatening exile into a chance for expansion, allowing the species to colonize remote islands where no other large reptiles can survive. At age 12, the crocodile measures 13 feet and weighs half a ton. At this size, it requires more substantial prey, forcing it to return to the nutrient-rich river deltas to find a permanent territory. This return involves a violent takeover. The young adult must fight a scarred veteran to secure the deep pools and riverbanks where water buffalo and wild pigs come to drink. Once the territory is won, the reproductive cycle begins. A female will lay 50 eggs in a hidden nest, beginning an 80-day vigil where she must hiss and snap at a constant stream of predators looking for a free meal. By aggressively guarding this nest and holding the riverbank, the adult ensures its genes continue, starting the same high-stakes survival process for the next generation. If a crocodile survives for 70 years, it becomes an undisputed giant. At 23 feet long, it sits at the absolute peak of the food chain, feasting on water buffalo and even sharks with total impunity. At this stage, its survival is anchored by its ability to store fat. Its metabolism is so efficient that a single large meal can sustain the giant for up to 3 months of inactivity. But even for the few that win the survival lottery, time eventually exacts its toll. Decades of crushing bone wear the crocodile's teeth down to smooth nubs. Its reflexes slow, and the giant is eventually reduced to scavenging for scraps or stealing the kills of smaller, faster hunters. When a younger, unscarred rival finally arrives, the aging giant can no longer defend what it once took by force. The territory remains, but its ruler is about to be replaced.